Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, almost the middle of January already. Holy cow. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. As usual, my friends, drink it if you got it. And fortunately this morning, I got it. Right here. Enjoy a little blues. Wow, look at that, 63 people. Holy cow, right at the starting gate. Boy, is that good. That good. Well, it's good to see everybody this morning. Good to see you. I'll leave the chat up there for a little while. I don't know if you like it or not, but I'll leave it up there a little while. And made it to Tuesday. Today, I have to kind of cap it at an hour, maybe 5 minutes over. I have a dental appointment. Got to get my... I can't call them pearly whites. They haven't been pearly white in 30 years, but whatever shade they are, I have to get them cleaned. My fault, probably. My two habits of drinking coffee and smoking cigars. And the fact that in my efforts over my lifetime to keep my teeth white and shiny, I let them use these whiteners on me. And on the bottom of my bottom teeth, they destroyed the enamel. So the enamel on my bottom teeth doesn't make it all the way to my gums, and it's just bone, and it stains terribly. And maybe that's too much information, but I go every 4 months just to get it cleaned. And I figure, what the hell? They're my teeth. They're healthy. I'm certainly not going to compromise anything just for cosmetic purposes. Love it the way it is, I say. But every 4 months I go, and it's in Orlando. It's a dentist that was my best friend in the world. It was his practice, and he died 12 years ago. And the kid that bought his practice is such a nice guy, and for a long time, my old hygienist stayed on. She's gone now. But I just got in the habit. It's just nice to have a little road trip. About an hour and 10-minute drive. So I got to be there by 11. I always like to give 10 or 15 minutes more, because you never know in this Central Florida traffic what you're going to hit. And I hate, as you can tell by my punctuality every morning, I hate to be late for anything. And I can't remember the last time, if ever, that I was 1 minute late for virtually anything. And I just, it's just obsessive that way, I suppose. So good morning, everybody. Because this is no doubt going to be a shorter stream this morning, if you have some questions that you think are serious questions and might require one of those Mitch down the rabbit hole answers, I'm on tonight, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. tonight, with my Tuesday night live stream. I've been doing panels, but tonight, because YouTube keeps demonetizing these things, I'm going to just do a normal Q&A and We'll see. We'll see. Like kind of like this morning. So if you have some serious questions you want to ask or something, please, I'd love to answer them. I'll have plenty of time tonight, 8 o'clock p.m., and hope to see you there. Let me get started here. Oh, my phone already went off. What do I got here? I have a Gmail that says, just my idea why you're less. This is timely. Talk about mental connections. This is from KL. Just my idea about why your Saturday video was demonetized if these words for the monkey picture were used. Okay, maybe it was that. Some Americans think this is a racial slur. So I guess I can't even say monkey now. I can't say monkey when my buddy Spank joins me. Sorry, Spanky. Okay, we'll see if they demonetize this. I know. The biggest crime on our planet, greater than rape, murder, genocide, is hurting somebody's feelings. Should be punishable by life imprisonment or the death penalty. Certainly for demonetization. Anyway, timely email. Cool deal. Let me say hi to people that were early birds here. And like I say, I don't expect too many questions. Quick questions are okay. Like, hi, Mitch, how can you be so good looking? Those kind of questions I can answer quick. But the questions about, what are your opinions on this particular biochemical pathway when compared to so-and-so's, essay questions like you'd get in a college exam. I love those kind of questions, but I tend to go off on them. And somebody has to eventually reach down into that rabbit hole and throw me a rope and pull me back out. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at this. Peter Desmier. Peter, I thought you were on the way to Cuba today. Bought me a coffee this morning. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, Peter. And you're going to Cuba on a missionary thing. Please keep in touch with me. And just because the devil made me do it, there's my buy me a coffee link should any of you feel the need to thank me or show your appreciation or help me out. You guys did great yesterday. Wow. I can't believe it. It was unbelievable. So thank you so much. But that doesn't mean some of you who, didn't. All right. The begging portion of this live stream is now officially over. And let me go say and thank people. Okay, Mike Seeley, first one in. How you doing from Tampa last night at 9 o'clock? And Wayne Herman and Tuka down in Finland. Retired Rick was in last night. Gary No Slow, thanks again for yesterday, my friend. I haven't forgotten that. Lady June was here. Now we're about midnight. The Furl Grandma. Lady June was back. Gary Arzamendi out there in the West Coast. Can't we just all get along and eat meat? Yeah. Rodney King. Oh, no, this is funny. Oh, Lady June, you must be over somewhere in Europe, I imagine, because my clock says 8:30. Am I a winner? Lady June, you are a winner. Ding, ding, ding for you. Unfortunately, not the winner at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, but a winner absolutely in your own right. And you did hit it exactly 3:30 a.m. So you got it right on the minute. That's fun. That's just fun. Sometimes if you treat life like a game, it's more pleasurable. Wanda Gerling, another insomniac. How you doing, Wanda? Anna Korzawa, 4 o'clock in the morning. Don Schonger, 4:30. Cliff Medina rolling out of bed at 5. Hi, Cliff. Good to see you. Aunt B, 5:30. Now we're getting respectable. We're getting respectable. Smoothie 420, around 6 o'clock in the morning. Furl Grandma chimed in. Mike Seeley Sr. finally rolled out of bed. How you doing? Mike slept in this morning, huh? 6:30. Wow, wow. Wow, I like to see a lot of early risers. I was up about, before 5 this morning. And it's kind of gray outside. It's going to be cold here all the way up till the weekend. So we're probably going to be doing most of the live streaming from inside the house here, which is okay. It's very comfortable in here. I have nice surroundings. I have a very beautiful coffee shop to sit in. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? You've seen my coffee shop. You've seen my coffee shop. See, I mean, sitting in this nice coffee shop right here. It's pretty cool. I can come and go in a flash. Excuse me, I have to go to the John. Okay, I'm back. How about that? Where was I? And this is Jerry Halls. How you doing? Hot here in Dominican. Oh, miss your wisdom, but I will catch up when I'm back. Jerry, we hate you. Well, we love you, but the Dominican. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. That's a very interesting country, the Dominican Republic. It's got a little of everything going on down there. I know I've spent some time down there. When I was in the cigar business, we had a factory in Tamboril, which is in the north center of the state. Yes, Granny Boo, how you doing? And Lynn Gerber is here. Hiya, Lynn from Deerfield Beach. Jeff Johnson, the name you know. Sally K. Norton was informative on Oxalate. She is. She's not just informative. She is the final, I think, authority. I mean, nobody, not in our space, has ever done an investigation. And she did it for the same reason that most people do. And I'm going to talk about that in the show notes. I'm going to talk about that. And that might take a little time. It was a great video. A little controversy in there we want to talk about. I got the impression from some of you that she thought carnivore was a bad idea, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So I want to clarify that because, believe it or not, I don't recommend these videos until I actually watch them. Rick from Miami's here. How you doing, young man? Good to see you. Patty Molden is here. And 8 o'clock. Michael Pregler, Richard Williams. Tina Schweikerath is here. How you doing? And Steve Studley. Somebody give that man some butter and salt already, will ya? Come on, guys. Come on. And the surprise of the morning for me, and hard to miss. Rod Burnett, thank you so much. $20 super chat, bacon and eggs. On the Mitch, thank you for your efforts. You are so welcome, and thank you so much for your support. Appreciate that, Rod. What a pleasant surprise and first thing in the morning to see that popping up. I'm telling you, that was great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. And YouTube, make sure I do not miss those. In case some of you weren't around when that thing actually rolled through the chat, which it does. I'm going to show you in the chat what it looked like this morning when that rolled through. So I'm going to scroll back in the chat to where YouTube rolled that through for me. Right there. Kind of hard to miss. That's what they do. That's why most people use these super chats when you want to really grab the host's attention, and like trying to get through to Ken Berry and ask him a question because he can't go through the whole chat like I try to do and ferret out those questions. And that's what happened. So anyway, that was a great surprise for me this morning. Thank you so much. All right, where was I? Slanty Head was here. Good morning. And Marla Kelly at 8:15. Sandy Blythe was here. I chimed in and finally called all of you Mitchfits. And speaking of Mitchfits, let me take a little break right at this point to thank Tanya kitchen witch, and her husband, very talented. I don't know if he just does it as a hobby or graphic designer. And Tanya sent me an email. She sent me an email, and she kind of they designed a graphic for a T-shirt for me, and she said in her email, she says, "I don't know if this might be a little dark," meaning dark, not dark in color, but dark in mood. But she said, my husband designed this, and I'll show you what. And they're getting a T-shirt made somewhere, and when she gets it, they're going to send me a picture of the T-shirt. And she says, feel free to use the graphic if you'd like. So if anybody thinks that this would be a great graphic for a T-shirt, I love it, and I'm going to show it to you right now. And is that not fabulous? Fabulous. Holy cow. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. At any rate, it's got it all. It's got it all, but you can see why she would think it's a little dark. Some people, I might say, you see what happens when you eat only meat? You die and become a skeleton. I don't look at it that way. It's got the cigar. It's got the bacon. It's got Mitch Fits on it, and it says eat meat. And if you guys think you might want one of these, if you think I'll go ahead and go through the drill of creating it and getting it into the merch store and all. And she also sent me another one that was in more black and white. So we got that one, and we got that one. So if you're gonna express your opinion, tell me which one you think you like. I personally like the red one on a black T-shirt. I think it would be great. At any rate, Tanya, what a sweetheart. And thank your husband for me, will you? That's fabulous. Fabulous. Oh, man. Yes. All right, let's try to get to 8:30 here, at least in the chat. Holy cow. Once again. But it's okay. It's okay. I don't expect to be answering too many questions. But I do see a question down there at the bottom of the chat. Mitch, do you think that carnivore is beneficial and sustainable long term? Well, Peter, you're obviously, I'm going to talk about that because obviously that's one of the things that Sally Norton talked about. But yes, I do think it's sustainable long term. I think it's a lifetime diet. Do we have to add, or should we add after 2 or 3 years on it? Maybe some really, really clean carbs, like maybe what she suggested, white rice, maybe a little bit of it, just to ease the load on our body having to go through gluconeogenesis. That's a great subject, something I've been looking at for a long time. It's been talked about a lot. Paul Saladino took it to its extreme with, eating a complete fruit bowl every day. But the philosophy of the fact that our ancestors, I'll answer this now, I was going to talk about it later, but the philosophy of the fact that our ancestors always ate small amounts of carbs in the form of survival food, grubs, tubers, sour berries, things like that. And yes, we have the ability to be pure carnivore with no carbs, zero carbs. There are some indications that it probably might not be a bad idea. And you have to make sure it's not loading up with fruits and plants, because most of them contain oxalates, and those things are horrible if you watch that video and understand it, especially what happens to you when you get rid of them too fast. But they are pure poison, and of course we are completely poisoning ourselves with the amount of plant material we'll eat. But as a carnivore who eats 99.9% of his diet from meat, and maybe 5 grams of carbs in some rice, and they specify specific rices that are completely clean Asian rices, soaked to get the whatever poisons are in them out before you cook them. So if there's a carnivore out there on the planet that says, well, you're not a real carnivore because you eat a couple of tablespoons of white rice a day, they can go to hell. But that's the kind of thing you're going to get from these purists. And you know my philosophy about being a purist. Go away. Don't sweat the small stuff. So I'm going to look into that. And as a matter of fact, I've got Sally's book coming. I ordered it. It's coming today. And I've been looking into the fact that it might not hurt or maybe even beneficial because it does require a certain toll, not a bad toll, but it makes your liver has to work a little harder. And I'm developing many opinions about the really best case uses and purposes for a carnivore diet. And at the top of my list, of course, is a carb addiction cure. Now, once you've been at it like I have for well over 2 years, some very, very clean, low amount, at 5-10 grams of carbs now and then, not even every day, that might ease the load on your physiology having to generate a lot of glucose, might be really beneficial. Who knows? I think we have so much to learn yet. So my mind is always open to these things. Don't accuse me. It's, well, you're not a real carnivore. Okay, so I hope that answers your questions, Peter. But yes, obviously, we have people that have been pure carnivore for 40 years. Now, have they actually never eaten a gram of carbs? I doubt it. I doubt it. Even Sean Baker loaded up on carbs when he was having his shoulder pain. Ken Berry eats carbs almost every day. He's always eating something that Nisha cooks him. The only one I really know who's so strict in the carnivore space is Anthony Chafee. And who knows? Nobody follows them around. So anyway, that's a good question, and you asked it, and I thought I'd answer it. And let me get to 8:30 here and congratulate whoever was the first one. Thomas Target Prime Rib, good morning to you, my friend. Ted M is here, and we're going down the wire here. Smoothie again. And who is this? Tricia is pursuing better health. Good for you, Tricia. Good morning from snowy Illinois. Good to see you. Tom from Tampa's here. Michael Pregler's here. 823. Tammy Pitarch sneaking up on it. B. Matt. Good morning, Matt. Good morning to you. Laurie. 827. John Bassett. Good morning to you. Dan Galasso. Good morning, everyone. 15 hours into my 17-hour fast to help some of my autoimmune conditions improve. Wish me luck. Good luck, Dan. Good luck. Let us know how you're doing over the next couple of days. That'd be great. That'd be great. Valerie Thompson. Good morning, everyone. Aaron, Booby Goats. So close, so close. Steve Studley, Lori again. CB, so close, 829. Lizzie is here. How you doing, Lizzie? Wow, look at all the 829s. Lori again. Ketra Naylor, 820. The winner. Oh, my God. Robbie. Robbie, you did it again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You have timing. I know you missed a couple days, but off the back of a 3-day winning streak, here you are again. Ding, ding, ding. Right on the bell, followed closely by, and he always calls me Mitch Fitz. And I think that with the introduction of that graphic from Tanya and her husband, I think that Mitch Fitz thing is... I love it, and I think it's taking hold. I think it's taking hold. Furrow Grandma, good morning, I guess she meant to say. Must have accidentally banged the enter key. Dixie Scott's here. How you doing? How you doing? And Tanya chimed back in, says, good morning, all. All right, let's see who we got here. Dawn is here. How you doing? Gary is back. Gary Arzamendi, good to see you this morning. And Sandy Blythe is back. And Edward Renner. Renato. Renato D'Amico. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Pamela Suarez is here. J. William Jordan. Good morning. Good morning. And we're down to 8. We're still at 8:30. We'll get through the 8:30s, then I'll get on to the show notes. And it's 5 minutes to 9, but that's okay. This is going to be a short one, folks. I haven't finished in an hour and God knows how long trying to answer all the questions. So I hope you save the questions up for tonight. I'll probably have 2 full hours sitting here, no panel, because I want to see if it's something in that panel that's causing, because the only videos that I put out that ever get demonetized as being non-appropriate for sponsors are the ones with the panels. And I don't know if it's something we're saying. I don't know if it's a cigar smoking. I don't know if they maybe just don't like the way some of us look. Or maybe we're having too much fun. And it's not a human that makes that decision. It's all algorithm-based. So I need to do a live stream tonight without a panel. And let's see if they demonetize it or not. Granny Boo 2 is here. How you doing? And Granny Boo 2 is at 8:30, and Danny in Boston starts the show at 8:31. So I start the show 25 minutes behind in the chat, but we'll get back to it. So right now, let me go to my show notes. And Tammy Petarch bought me a coffee, it looks like. Thank you, Tammy. You always make my day, she says. Thanks, Mitch. Feelings mutual. Feelings mutual, Tammy. Thank you so much. Thank you. You've been around in this community for a long time. Long time. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Show notes. Show notes. Let's see here. Where are my show notes? There they are. Okay. Always at the top of my show notes says buy me a coffee link. Okay, Mitch. There you go. Check. Meetup in Melbourne, January 28th, Tuesday. That's only 2 weeks from today, guys. 2 weeks from today. I've got one RSVP. I know some of the other, well, Peter has not officially RSVP'd. So I know that Mark Booth said he should be there, and Peter said he's going to be there, and I hope Jerry Wojtush comes down. If nothing else, we'll have our quorum in the cigar lounge afterwards. But RSVP me, guys, so I have an email and I can count them up. Thank you. I already said live tonight, no panel. Yes, you're going to be stuck with 2 hours of me and my mouth. No cigar. Indoors. Indoors here. So I hope you all come. Hope you all come. We have 151 people here on a Tuesday. That is fabulous. It says here Oxalate video yesterday. What a great video. Here's something. You want to know something funny? I met Zane Griggs. Zane Griggs was the person interviewing Sally. And Sally she has her own channel. She has a website. She's been all over everybody's channel for a long time talking about oxalates. Nobody really talks about them. And what a major problem they are for the human animal. They screw up everything. They're not just responsible for kidney stones. They get in all your joints. They accumulate in your eyeballs. They form razor-sharp, glass-like crystals that get in your joints. Everybody on carnivore should be totally educated to the max about oxalates and the damage, and especially vegans. should know what they are doing to their body, eating nothing but plant food, and especially raw vegan. If the single most poisonous, destructive diet on the planet is the one that's so admired. You're a raw vegan. Wow. Aren't you great? Aren't you good? Aren't you just clean and green? Wow. Keep doing that, you'll turn green, my friends. Because you're very slowly becoming a plant by eating that. You are what you eat. That is not just a funny saying. You become built out of what you put in your mouth eventually. My corollary to that is not you are what you eat. Eat what you are. What are we? We're meat. We're meat. We're animal meat and animal fat. Well, eat that. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? When you want to repair concrete, what do you repair it with? You don't patch it with styrofoam. You patch it with concrete. It's crazy, crazy. It makes no sense. How did the human race lose the ability for logical thinking and critical thinking? It is astounding, and yet they don't get it. We know they don't get it. It's so frustrating when we tell them what we're doing. I think about this stuff and I say, we're never going to fix this. Just let's every man for himself, boy. You know, grab a lifeboat, save yourself. You can't save the rest of them. They're still in the bar drinking while the ship's going down. You know. What a world, what a world. But these oxalates, learn what you can. And the interesting thing about that video, the funny thing was, nobody saw it. Zane Griggs been around a long time. He's the guy that wrote Kicking Ass After 50 with Ken Berry. I met him a year and a half ago in Orlando at the Keto Summit, and we talked for an hour or two. Fascinating guy. He's been on YouTube a long time. He's got this channel with no subscribers, and his videos get no views. When I watched that video and took that screenshot that I used in the video, it had been on there for 7 hours. It had nothing. I forget whether the first time I looked at it, it was on for 4 hours, had no views. Next time I looked at it, it had 2 views. I said, holy cow, this is such a great video. If you haven't watched that from yesterday, watch it. Watch it. The video's on my channel, just a short introduction, and then a link to that Sally Norton interview. And it's an hour and 10 minutes, but watch it. The stuff that she covers is stuff that is so helpful to know. And I don't know whether it was me or you guys, but that video came up in my feed again this morning, and now it's got almost 800 views. And I felt so proud of myself. I'm saying, he never got that many views on a video. And thank you guys. I know a lot of you watched it because I got a lot of comments, and most of the comments were about Sally Norton talking about whether it was a good idea to be completely zero carb for a lifetime. But it was carnivore. She tried everything to cure herself. The story of her first 50 years of life was akin to Michaela Peterson, miserable, sick, horrible things happening to her. When she finally almost accidentally stumbled onto some information about oxalates. And she went on a tear basically to save her life and researched it and learned so much. And she knows so much. But it wasn't until she went carnivore that things started to heal. She is a carnivore. she doesn't badmouth carnivore. But some people who maybe didn't listen carefully enough or watch the entirety of it commented to me, well, Sally Norton thinks carnivore is not healthy. And that cannot be further from the truth. She's basically saying, and Zane Griggs kind of agreed, and a lot of other carnivore influencers out there have no problem with this, in that when you've been zero carbs for so long, your body has to work hard to produce the glucose that it does need. And we do need carbs. We have the ability to make them when we can't find them, or even in small quantities. And that's called gluconeogenesis, but it puts the liver and some other organs to work. And there are some people who think that eating a small amount of carbs will lighten the load on those organs and be healthier for your longevity. And that, in theory, makes sense. Now, that's one side of a scale. The other side of the scale is our old nemesis, carbohydrate addiction. I've talked about this before. So I'm at a point now, after almost 2.5 years of carnivore, where I'm seeing maybe a little slight increase in fasting blood sugar. I don't know. It's very subtle, and you know, I haven't gotten the results of my blood tests this year, so I'm waiting to see what happened. But last year I thought, well, maybe if it doesn't send me on a slippery slope of carb binging, maybe, and I've talked about this, maybe I should add in a very small amount of some certain carbs to help my body in the glucose that it needs to make every day, because my red blood cells need glucose. My brain, about 30% of my brain needs glucose, and the rest runs better on ketones. I need glycogen in my muscles, and even though we know that pure carnivore athletes can make all the glycogen they need, is it better to help a little bit and not work your liver so hard, or your kidneys for that matter? So we'll see. And Sally was suggesting that Asian white rice, soaked before you cook it, would take all the toxins out, is probably a perfectly safe carbohydrate. And you would eat a small serving of it, maybe not even every day. And that would not be unreasonable if it wouldn't do any harm whatsoever. There's no downside to it if it doesn't trigger an addiction, and that would be the only danger, I would say. And I doubt that a half a cup of boiled white rice would send me on a sugar rush. No, I don't think so. But I'm seriously thinking about it, and to hear her talk about that yesterday again kind of brought that back into my mind. So there's something to consider. And, you know, I'll be the guinea pig, guys. I'll be the guinea pig. I mean, it's fun for me to brag about the fact that in 2.5 years, I haven't put a gram of carbohydrate in my mouth other than that stuff that comes naturally in meat and eggs and bacon. I like bragging about that, but I'm not gonna, if I can't help them make it a little better, I'm not gonna let the bragging rights keep me from doing what's best for me. So hang around, stick with me. I'll tell you everything about what I'm doing. I'll show you. I'll make a video about it. I haven't had a bite of anything like that. In 2.5 years, I will make a big main event if I decide to put a tablespoonful of white rice in my mouth. And I'll let you see whether I turn purple and keel over dead, or it makes no difference. And believe me, at this stage, if it triggers any carbohydrate addictions, I recognize the signs. And I have 3 different radars going off in my head, back and forth, that will recognize any signs. And I will put a stop to it before I end up heading for the donut shop and Walgreens to get a gallon of ice cream. That'll never happen again. Never. So at any rate, I wanted to go over that today, and I knew that was going to take some time, but it's very, 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 have I said very? I think I said very. If I didn't say very, let me say very one more time. It's very important that we understand this stuff, especially the oxalates, which carnivore is a zero oxalate diet, not a milligram of oxalates. And when you hear her in that video talking about the foods that contain oxalates and how much oxalates are in the food, 2 little squares of chocolate is enough oxalates to start basically put you over the threshold of what your body can't get rid of and has to find a place to store. Little peanut butter. It's nuts. And certainly spinach and kale, not so much as spinach, but people eat these things in huge quantities, spinach and chocolate and almonds. And the good news, my friends, the good news, guess what plant matter does not contain any, zero, nada, none, oxalates? Guess what? Coffee. No oxalates. Tea has a lot of oxalates because it's steeped from leaves. This particular coffee bean, no oxalates. Ain't that great? What great news? What great news for those coffee naysayers who are afraid to drink coffee because they think it's not carnivore and it comes from a plant. Well, interestingly enough, I'm sure it does have some stuff in it from the plant. Whether it's good or bad for you, I think is insignificant, but no oxalates. And I think that I'm well along in my oxalate dumping. My kidney stones are almost gone. I had crystals coming out of little sores on my skin. Sally Norton talks something very, very important. If you're so loaded up with oxalates and you switch from your diet to a carnivore diet, like overnight, you could, in some rare and extreme cases, actually kill yourself from dumping oxalates too fast. These are things people need to know when they start carnivore that very few people, if any, talk about, including me. I need to start cautioning people who want to go cold turkey that you might have to wean yourself off the oxalates lest your body poison itself trying to get rid of that shit when it sees it's no longer coming in. Very important subject. Ranks right up there with anything else we talk about. That's why I put that video up there yesterday. Watch it again. I've watched it twice already, and I bought her book. Now, is she right about everything? Probably not. Who knows? Nobody can be. But the book's on Amazon. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I might put a link. I don't know if I want to start putting books on my Amazon page on the website, but it's a $13 book. Get it overnight. I'll have it today. When I get it, I'll show it to you guys and talk about it. But I've been a fan of Sally's ever since I first was introduced to her years ago, and I think it's the right time, especially since I've been a carnivore for almost 2.5 years, to start talking about the effects and maybe some limited downsides of being this strict for life. Because many people talk about that, and I need to know the whys, and I need to ferret it out and research it for myself, and I'm going to do that. So you'll probably see a few more videos coming here in the near future on this subject. Okay, what else? What else do I have? Any more coffees? No. Okay, let's see. We're just keeping it light today. I'm going to take a quick run through the chat here from the bottom up. It won't be the chat that I'm so behind in, but What's going on here? There we go. I'm going to look for some questions if I can find them real quick. If they stand out, I don't want to say I hope there aren't too many, but I know I asked you guys to keep it. Question, hi Mitch. Oh no, sorry guys. My Chrome browser just got kind of overloaded, and it my pop-out chat went away. I can't believe it. Let me try to find it again. Hang on, guys. I actually found a question, and it went away. But always something, the attack of either Google or Microsoft or StreamYard or somebody else. Okay, so I got my pop-out chat back. I go back to the bottom and start scrolling up. Now, sorry guys, it has lost that question. So I guess I'm stuck. Looking with the chat that's still in StreamYard. Okay, here's a question from Steve Studley. Please explain why you don't drink water with your meal. Okay, Steve, it's a matter of stomach acid, my friend. Matter of stomach acid. To digest protein and meat, your stomach acid the pH needs to be around 2 or below. I mean, it's acidic. It's like battery acid. That's why people get ulcers sometimes. You take acid, the amount of acid that you might have in your stomach, what would that be? Ounces? 3, 4, I don't know, 6? What's the most it could be? 8 ounces? 16 ounces? And you take a beaker that big of acid with a pH below 2, and you pour 16 ounces or 8 ounces of water in it. What's going to happen to the pH? It's going to go up to 4 or 5. That cannot break down meat. When you dilute your stomach acid, it can't digest the food. The food ends up passing from the stomach into the small intestine, undigested to some extent. And we want to get every last good to the last drop of nutrient out of the food that we eat. And it has the best chance of that happening if it can stay long enough through the cycle, the part of your digestive cycle where the stomach breaks it down first, then empties it into your intestines. We want it to benefit from the most time sitting in the acid. Now, we can drink a little bit of stuff, and I think we'll make a little more acid real quick, try to maintain that low pH. But you sit there, like most Americans do, with a 32-ounce big gulp of Coke while you're eating a meal. You're never going to digest that meal you'll never get any nutrients out of it. But you will get the sugar out of it. That's the easiest stuff to get into your system. So if you happen to eat a big McDonald's Happy Meal with a shake and an extra large fries and a 32-ounce Coke, which you get unlimited refills on, you're going to, whatever little meat or protein or other things, you probably won't digest them at all, but you will certainly digest all the sugar. Guaranteed. That's why you shouldn't, that's why I don't drink with my meals. Do I take a swallow? Yeah, sometimes I'll take a little swallow, especially afterwards. I take a vitamin D pill after my first meal of the day. So yes, after I've eaten the meal, it says take this with food. Okay, I got to get it into my stomach while the food is still in there if I want to maximize the absorption of that vitamin D and K2. So I will take a swallow, enough water to wash the pill down, but that's about it. And judging by the infrequency of my bathroom trips, that's a delicate way to put it, I must be digesting most, if not all, of what I eat, which is the goal. And it just works. It just works. So that's a great question. Great question. Let me Let me go down here and see if I can't find them. And I apologize today if I don't read everybody's name or say hi to the new people that came in late. I promise you, you come back tonight. Let me see this kind of attendance tonight. I've got 166 people here. Wow. And there won't be one of you that doesn't hear your name come out of my mouth during it. Questions. Here's a question here. Mitch, do you think that carnivore, yep, that's the one I just answered, sustainable? That was Peter's question. I'm going to try to catch him real quick here. Only way I can do that. Here's another one. Cordelia, question, Mitch. I have a friend who wants to come off his blood pressure meds. I suggested the proper human diet. Should I give him a copy of Dr. Berry's PhD free guide or just tell him to eat animal products? Either or both. And it depends on how receptive he is to this and how addicted he is to the carbs and how much his addiction is going to fight his logical mind and try to con him, and it will, into being like most people and saying, I don't think I could do that. A balanced diet is best, and everything in moderation is okay. He doesn't really believe that. His subconscious is using that as a sales pitch to keep him keeping that supply of sugar and carbs coming. Yes. So if he keeps coming and asking, help in any which way you can. Invite him to dinner, for God's sakes. Stick a big ribeye in front of him. Better yet, ask him to bring the ribeyes. Tell him what meat department to go buy them. But help anybody that wants help or is willing to listen in any way you can. And if you want to get that free handout from Ken Berry, that's great. On my website, OldGuyCarnivore.com, there's pages of information about how to start carnivore, the biggest pitfalls. Copy and paste that stuff. Let them read that. Show them the website. There's so much information out there if people are interested. Making them believe it or not is the hard part. Even with proof, even showing them, look at me. Do you remember what I was like 3 years ago? Well, what the hell do you think happened? Oh, God. Anyway, kudos on you for wanting to help people. Here we go. Joseph K. Question, hi, Mitch. I'm visiting in Vero Beach, Florida. Do you have any in-person meetings coming up? I don't know how long you're going to be here, but yeah, we have an in-person meeting not 30 or 40 miles from Vero Beach, up in Melbourne on the 28th, Tuesday, 2 weeks from today. If you're going to be here 2 weeks from today, there's a description in the video, in the show notes of this video, about the meetup. And if you want to come, just send me a Gmail. OldGuyCarnivore@gmail.com, RSVP. I want to come. Can you send, and I'll get you some directions to where it is. But it's real easy to find, right up Interstate 95 from where you are in Vero. So yes, you're right in the neighborhood, my friend. Would love to see you. Would be great to see you. Questions. How am I in chat? 8:56. Well, I'm behind, but I'm going to need to be wrapping this up in about 10 minutes. So let me run through this. The good news is that normally I have nowhere to go in all day to get there after this, so I can sit here leisurely, visit with you guys. But today, rather than cancel it, which I don't want to do, I said, well, I can do an hour. I'll still have enough time to get ready to go, hit the road, be there by 11 in Orlando. And good, you guys kind of held off on the questions and save them for tonight. Where am I? 9:15. Oh, I'm 10 minutes by. All right, we're going to make it. Here's a question. Do you ever eat peanut butter, Mitch? Robbie, Why would I? Why? I used to love peanut butter. You're looking at a guy. I would put peanut butter on pork rinds. That was one of my favorite keto snacks. When I was keto and trying to stay under 20 grams, it didn't allow you very much peanut butter. I tried to buy that stuff without the sugar added. Then you buy it in a jar and half of it is solid on the bottom and the top part is all oil, and you got to try to stir it up, and you can't ever stir it up all the way, and the best you get is something that just runny. And it didn't have any sweet taste to it at all. You may as well just eat the peanuts, for God's sakes. But I used to love that stuff. I used to eat it out of the jar with a teaspoon. I haven't had a drop of peanut butter or a peanut in the 2.5 years that I've been carnivore. And I wouldn't, because everything about peanut butter is nothing but non-carnivore. It's plants. It's legumes, it's peanuts, it's oxalates, it's sugar, it's everything we want to stay away from. That's a cross that you hold up for a vampire. Peanut butter, out, get away. Nah, no peanut butter for me. I know it's tempting. I know we think, well, it's only got a few carbs. I can eat a teaspoonful. It's full of oxalates. Peanuts are full of oxalates. It's tough to find vegetables that don't have oxalates. Oranges have oxalates in them, for God's sakes. Sally Norton in her video said if you have to have an orange, believe it or not, even though it's all sugar, the oxalates stay with the pulp, and if you juice it, you can get orange with no oxalates. So orange juice is okay from an oxalate perspective. Orange pulp is better from a sugar perspective. No oranges in any shape, form, or manner is preferable from a carnivore perspective. So individually, each of these fruits has different characteristics. So you can't just say healthy fruits and vegetables. They're all different, wildly different, with different defense mechanisms. But they all have defense mechanisms, or they wouldn't still be a species. They'd have been long extinct. Any more questions? We're coming down. Robbie Autry again. How you doing? Do you take any apple cider? I don't do that either. I don't do anything, Robbie, except bacon, eggs, beef, fish, chicken, period. No, and pork rinds. No other food of any kind. Butter. No, I eat butter. I cook in butter. No other food crosses my lips. Not a single thing. It's easier that way. I don't want any of that stuff. I have stopped looking for the magic thing that somebody made a YouTube video that said, if you add this to your carnivore diet, it has the name apple in it, and it has the name vinegar in it. And vinegar has always been a turnoff to me, and apple sounds like sugar. So, Kimberly W., where is Ellen? I have no idea. She shows up every once in a while in the chat, but I'm leaving it up to her if she wants to ever come back again, and she must have gotten herself involved in many, many other things. So I don't push her. I don't call her. I don't text her. When she comes into the chat, I say hello, and it's up to her. It's up to her. I know she still loves me. Not in that manner, but like all of you love me because I'm so lovable. But nothing happened between us. We're great friends. But no, I don't want to push. I don't. So if she decides to come back in again, she's always welcome. All she has to do is ask me for the link, and I'll give it to her. And if you're listening, Ellen, I miss you. I had fun when you used to be up there in the penthouse. All right, we're almost going to have to wrap it up here. Resting which face? The happiest carnivore. Okay, question. I'm experiencing a spike in my blood pressure lately. Do you think I should cut down on my salt intake? I have no idea. Have no idea. And I'm not even saying that as somebody who isn't a doctor. I could absolutely have no idea because I honestly don't know you. I don't think salt is a culprit in the blood pressure. So if I was going to try to find something, for example, that might be spiking your blood pressure, and this may help you, the last thing I would consider would be salt, believe it or not. And why? Because that's the first thing that the doctors will say. Oh, you need to be on a low salt diet. It's bullshit. Do you know how much salt I eat? My blood pressure, 116. It never. The first thing I would recommend to you is, maybe you're taking your blood pressure wrong. Maybe you're taking it at the wrong time of day. Maybe you haven't relaxed enough before you take it. Maybe you're taking it after a couple of cups of coffee. It might be something else that you're doing. Is it possible that it's salt? It could be. But if your blood pressure is consistently high, I would look elsewhere. And if you go to a doctor, you know, your sodium levels in your blood need to be checked. Are you retaining fluids? Any kidney issues? Many other places to look. But again, with what I know about you, it would only be a guess of the hundreds of things that can cause blood pressure to go up, because it goes up and down every day. It goes up a little when you stand up out of a chair. Good luck to you, and I honestly wish I had the magic answer to these things. I really did. It would be great if I could just come on here like Johnny Carson, the great Carmack, and spew out an answer, and it would be correct. Steve McAvoy says, I've been trying to contact you through email. Maybe you got it wrong, and I went to Dietary Carnivore Meetup at the... Oh, okay, Steve, that's great. It's one word, OldGuyCarnivore, no spaces. OldGuyCarnivore at gmail.com. That's my email address. You should be able to find me. But that's great. That'll be great. Yeah, send me an email and keep trying. Keep trying, Steve. Love to meet you. And it would be great to have you here. Thanks for asking. And let me know I'll know if you got it when I get an email from you. And I don't think I got one yet because I keep track of those emails. Oh, Kitchen Witch, how did it go with the no salad plumber? Perfect. I got a guy now. You know, they say, I got a guy for that. This guy is the guy. He's perfect. He not only is he a plumber, but he's got friends who do all the other trades too. So if I would need somebody else like a drywall guy or a carpenter, he's got a guy, and they all kind of work as a big group, but they're all just working for themselves. Perfect. I'll let you know. He's supposed to come replumb my house this weekend. We'll see. My hopes are up, but my hopes have been dashed before. So we'll see. Okay, I got to get to the end of this now because I have got to sign out. Gemma wants to know, now that I'm in shape for years, do you date? No dates for me. Sorry. That's a long story. I'll talk about that. And I got back down to the bottom of the chat. Mitch, you've been the same question. Yes, we made it. Thank you so much. Holy cow, record time. 64 minutes. My friends, it pains me to shut down a stream with 155 people in the house. But I'll be back. I'll be back with clean teeth tonight, as clean as mine can get. And we'll do this again. So take a minute. Little happy music for you. Take a minute, say goodbye to everybody. I can hang around for another minute or two. Finish my coffee. music, and seeing everybody saying goodbye in the chat. Tom, Viking, Lori, Dixie, Scott, Aaron, Booby Goats, Thomas, Target Primary, Robbie, Autry, everybody have a meaty day, he says. Later Gator, says Steve R. Perfect, perfect. Princess Mom says hi and bye. Well, we caught you coming and gone. Princess, that's great, that's great. And Catcher Nailer says bye with a bunch of E's. Ribeye Susie says goodbye. Fabulous. Kamala Suarez, good to see you. Retired Rick says bye all. Okay, my friends. With all that, I'm going to leave the music, play us out. See you tonight, 8 o'clock. And until then, I think the music's going to end here. Let me make this professional. Not. Until then, my friends, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.